Good morning, students. Today I am back with the last portion of plant kingdom, that is Gymnosperm and Angiosperm. So where do we get this word Gymnosperm? Gymnos means naked and sperma means seed. So the word Gymnosperm comes from the fact that here these seeds are naked, or they are not covered within some specialized structure. So they are named as gymnosperm, plants in which ovules are not enclosed by ovary walls and remain exposed. What they include? They include medium-sized trees, tall trees, or shrubs. They generally have tap roots. Some roots have fungal association. Some roots have fungal association. In Pinus, we call it as mycorrhiza, and in Cycas, we call it as coralloid roots. So, some of the roots in case of gymnosperm has fungal association or symbiotic relationship with fungus. In case of Pinus, we call it as mycorrhiza, and in case of Cycas, we call it coralloid roots. Now, with which type of bacteria they have this association? Generally, nitrogen-fixing cyanobacteria. Generally, they have the fungal association with the nitrogen-fixing cyanobacteria. Since they can produce food, they can give this heterotrophic fungus the food, and in turn, fungus will help them in nitrogen fixation. So, these stems can be unbranched like in Cycas, or can be branched like in Pinus. It can be unbranched like in Cycas, or can be branched like in Pinus. The leaves, as we have seen, that it can be simple or compound. We have seen in the pine leaves, right? It can be simple or it can be compound, and it can withstand extreme temperatures and humidity. It can withstand extreme temperature and humidity, and also storms. It can also resist storms. Pinnate leaves in Cycas can remain alive for few years. Imagine, the pinnate leaves in Cycas can remain alive for few years. That is why actually they are known as evergreen plants. Now, what is the mechanism of the leaf? Like, how do they survive and help the plants to survive for so many years? Is that they reduce their surface area. Since we find needle-like leaves, they reduce their surface area. They have thick cuticle. So that water is not lost by evaporation, and sunken stomata, so that water is not lost by transpiration. So these are the three ways that it helps in reducing the water loss. They are generally heterosporous, having haploid microspores and megaspores. Spores are produced in sporangia. Sporangia is born on the sporophylls, and sporophylls are arranged spirally along the axis to form strobili or cones. So spores are produced in sporangia. Sporangia are born on sporophyll, which are arranged spirally along axis to form strobili. Now, male strobili bears microsporophylls and microsporangia, because microsporophyll is tending the microsporangia and it produces microspores. Okay, and male strobili is also known as microsporangiate. Microspores develops into what? Male gametophyte. And then they are highly reduced to limited number of cells, which are known as pollen grains. Microspores develops into male gametophyte, which are highly reduced to limited number of cells, called pollen grains. Female strobili or megasporangiate bears what? Megasporophylls with ovules. Both male or female strobili can be on the same tree like in Pinus or in the different tree like in Cycas. So male and female strobili can be on the same tree like Pinus or different tree like in Cycas. Now this megaspore mother cell is differentiated from one cell of nucellus. And nucellus is protected by envelopes. And this composite structure is called as ovule. Megaspore mother cell is differentiated from one cell of nucellus, and nucellus is protected by envelopes, and this composite structure is called ovule. So ovule has what? Ovule has megaspore mother cell which is differentiated from nucellus along with the envelope that is protecting the nucellus. This total thing is known as ovule. Ovules are borne on what? Megasporophylls, which clusters to form female cones. Now this megaspore mother cell divides meiotically to form 4 megaspores. Megaspore mother cell divides meiotically to form 4 megaspores. Each one of the megaspores are enclosed within megasporangium and develops into multicellular female gametophyte. Okay. Female sex organ bears 2 or more archegonia. It bears 2 or more archegonia. And now this male and female gametophytes do not have independent existence. Here the male and female gametophytes, like we were seeing in case of bryophyte, pteridophyte, it does not have independent existence. They remain within the sporangia, retained on the sporophyte. These characteristics we have seen to some extent in higher pteridophytes. That is why we were calling it as a juncture between primitive and the advanced plant system. Here we can see that this gametophyte stage does not have an independent existence. They remain within sporangia, retained on the sporophyte. Pollen grains released from microsporangium, they are carried by air current and they contact the opening of the ovules in the megasporophylls. They are carried by air current, contact the opening of the ovules present in the megasporophylls. Then what happens? There are pollen tubes in which the male gametes will go. There are pollen tubes in which there will be male gametes, and this whole thing will grow towards the archegonia or the female sex organ and then discharge the content near the mouth of the archegonia. Followed by that, there will be fertilization and zygote will be matured into embryo and ovule will be matured into seeds, which are uncovered in case of gymnosperm. Okay, so let us repeat once again what happens. Pollen tubes having male gametophyte grow towards the archegonia. They discharge the content near the mouth of the archegonia, which leads to fertilization. After fertilization, there will be formation of zygote. Zygote will then get matured to embryo and ovule into seeds which are uncovered. So here we end the topic gymnosperm. Next we have angiosperms. Angiosperms are what? Whatever plants generally we see around us are angiosperms, like mango, mustard, anything. We will be going into details of angiosperm, like its structure and organization, in my next lecture. So here it is a very small topic. Angiosperm is that plant where ovules and pollen grains are developed in specialized structures called flowers. These beautiful looking flowers what we see are nothing but specialized structure for ovules and pollen grains. Seeds we know are enclosed in the fruit. They vary largely in size. Smallest is Wolfia, and tall trees are eucalyptus. Minded, it can grow till 100 meter. Okay, they provide us with food, fodder, fuel, medicine. They have lots and lots of use. So it would be a different chapter altogether. They are generally divided into two classes: dicotyledons and monocotyledons. Dicotyledons, like this. One typical example of dicotyledon is gram, and monocotyledon like rice, maize, etc. And their example can be mango, eucalyptus, mustard, anything. Okay, every other plant we see are mostly angiosperms. So dear students, hereby I am ending my lecture on plant kingdom. My next lecture won't be on animal kingdom, it would be on structural organization of plants. Since we are going through the plant, we will complete that plant part, then we will be doing animal kingdom, and after that we will be studying animal structure ka organization and all. Okay, so till then, good luck, all the best, happy learning, thank you.